Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet. Lakers, driven by your Southern California Honda dealers. Chris McGee, James Worthy, Robert Ory, Mike Bresnahan. Allie's going to join us in a little bit. The Lakers lose their fourth game in a row. They go winless on the road trip. Kind of feel like a broken record with no LeBron and no AD. This team just doesn't have enough to get it done on a night like tonight when they're playing a desperate Utah Jazz team that had lost 5 in a row, that sits at 6th in the standings. They competed big game, James. Just not enough.
Yeah. Both teams had been struggling. I think Utah, obviously, with the full healthy team, or more than what we had, they got more to lose. They're in the 6th spot. They still feel like they can, move in the playoffs, and they're still trying to win a championship. I don't think they can do it, but the Lakers just could not shoot the 3-ball tonight. I mean, they could not get any good shots up, and without anyone to collapse the defense or a double team, it's going to be tough. And then Gobert had something to prove coming back. I thought Dwight Howard, though, I'll give him the Laker game ball. He had a good game.
Pretty simple. You always can find stats that counter the difference in the game. Minus 24 from 3.
Yes, that's the first thing I looked at.
Yeah.
Because as a team, we haven't been shooting the ball well from 3. We hit 7. They hit 15. But other than that, you play good basketball, toe-to-toe. Malik Monk was matching Donovan Mitchell. Gobert was matched by Dwight Howard. It was so many things that you say, okay, we're in the game.
Effort was there.
Yes, and we only had, 11 turnovers?
Yeah.
So there was so many good things that happened, but the 3-ball was the key. You got to be able to shoot the ball. And what Utah did was they penetrated, and every 3 they got was just pot shots.
Yeah.
No contest, no nothing, knocking it down.
This game is the Lakers' season boiled down into 48 minutes. You have injuries, you have the inability to hit the 3, and you have the inability to play defense. I mean, this Utah team really been struggling offensively lately. 5-game losing streak. Definitely a get-well game for them against the Laker defense that just cannot stop anyone these days. No 40-point quarters, but the Lakers allowed 99 through the first 3 quarters. It's tough to beat anyone. Just forces the offense to cover too many mistakes, and this Laker offense without AD, without LeBron, just can't do that.
And that's the thing. Listen, it was a different story in Dallas. Obviously, they got down huge and never really competed. But just the lack of pressure put on the Utah team, you just feel like Utah kind of knew the whole time, big game, that they could do what they wanted and that they weren't in jeopardy of losing the game.
Well, yeah, I mean, they knew the Lakers were limited, and they knew where to attack and when to attack and how to run their offense. And they, teams have been watching the Lakers. They've been scouting the Lakers, so they know what the problems are. So it's easy to have a game plan without LeBron and AD. And, even with AD and LeBron, I mean, 17 assists, the ball's just not moving. When you don't have LeBron or AD, man, you got to make that defense work. You got to have 25, close to 30 assists, or at least attempts at it. But just didn't have enough firepower tonight. I mean, they played well enough, like Rob said, but the 3-ball is such a big item in today's game. But if you can't get it, efficiently enough, it's going to be hard to win games.
Especially when you're matched everywhere else, right? Basically the same points in the paint, free throw, all that stuff. It really just came down to the 3-ball. Rob, let's talk this Utah Jazz team. Donovan Mitchell had a great night, 29, Gobert 25. They're in that 6th spot. They had lost 5 in a row. I just don't know how much I believe in them when it comes to the playoffs. They've been sliding. They don't look like a team like Dallas right now, who they might play in the first round, or Denver, who's starting to trend upwards as well. But that's like an opponent that they're going to play. Do you believe in them?
I don't. I think they lost their heart and soul when they lost Ingles. Ingles, to me, was a key to that team. He did a lot of the dirty work. Even though Donovan Mitchell was having another good season, it's just they are missing that oomph. And I think Ingles was that guy. And they traded, and they brought in some new guys.
Great glue guy, too.
Yeah, they brought in, Rudy Gay. He hasn't played that well for them. They brought in Snead. And these pieces that they brought in, it's a difference when you have a guy that's been playing with you for a while. He knows the system. He knows his players. And there's always been a team in the league that is like, why does this team keep beating this team that has a better record? Because you have guys like Joe Ingles who are able to step up in the playoffs, knock down threes, and guard guys that, we didn't know he could guard. So they miss him a lot.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to kind of denigrate a team that just beat the Lakers pretty much wire to wire. But yeah, I'm with you. We talked about this before the game. I'm not sure Utah's a contender. I think we'll see a contender Sunday here in LA when the Lakers play Denver. That to me is a team that has a chance. If, you know, Jamal Murray comes back, Michael Porter Jr., he just had a setback, so I don't know if he's going to make it back before the playoffs start. This Denver team, to me, this Utah team, to me is a step below like a Denver and a Dallas. I just don't see it, James.
They've always been a threat at the beginning of the season, in the regular season, when you're going from city to city and, you know, you're catching teams off guard. They're a good regular season team. You get them in 7-game series and they get exposed. They haven't showed me anything in the playoffs. I can't remember in a long time, really, not since
last year was a huge opportunity for them.
Yeah, I mean, opportunities, the opportunities there, but they just can't make it to the finals. You know, that's not
Love
since
Jordan Clarkson off
Stockton
the bench.
and Malone.
Yeah, you bring up a great point about Ingles. He definitely is missed with that team. All right, guys, we've talked enough about the Jazz. Let's talk about the standings. Big game. I'm going to go to you first. 14 games under 500. I want you to look at this and see exactly where the Lakers are. They're a full 2 games, James, behind the Pelicans, making Friday night's game in LA even bigger. They are tied with the Spurs at 31 and 45. Here's the situation, big game. The Spurs own the tiebreaker just like the Pelicans. So they get the advantage, and if the playoffs started tonight, the Lakers would be out. They'd be in that 11th spot. But there are 6 games left. The Lakers have the Pelicans on Friday. They got the Nuggets on Sunday. The Spurs have Blazers, Friday, Sunday. So if you're looking at it from that angle, a little bit of advantage goes to San Antonio. But that game's huge tomorrow. Big game.
Advantage Spurs. You know, look, here's what our season's boiled down to. Are we going to get any help? Are we getting AD, LeBron back? If not, it's going to be very difficult to overcome. The Spurs have the advantage. The Lakers have Denver. And with the Warriors left,
Suns,
the and the Suns, the Pelicans are coming in here with a lot of confidence. So that's what our season, I think, kind of depends on. If we can get some power back, and then we might have a slim chance of playing.
Now the Pelicans have a little breathing room with that 2-game lead and the tiebreaker. So they know they can go for the knockout punch tomorrow night. But this is a team, Robin. I know LeBron hurt his ankle in the second quarter of that game, but the Lakers were up 23 on this team, up 20 at half.
Yeah.
Just a few nights ago.
Yeah, it was the, wow, we need LeBron to get more rest game because he came out on fire. Yep. He was picking up full court. He was doing a lot of things to make that team go. And if he's not playing and AD's not playing, we're going to have a problem because it seems like those 2 guys, even though they're the older guys on the team, they provided energy to those young guys. They provide, you know, pushing the basketball. Even though you have Westbrook who can push the ball, but it's something about when LeBron has it and he's pushing and he's attacking. Everybody gets to their spots. They've been knocked down shots. It's like a nucleus of that team that they need to energize everybody. But without him, everybody's just like, you know, going through the motion.
Brez, it's almost like everyone, including Lakers, has known about this game coming up on Friday. Not that you're punting any games, but LeBron goes back to rehab. AD could come back tomorrow. We'll get into that later in the show. We've been talking about it for a week on air, just that game, because we just kind of know the importance of it, because how it will swing the standings. And it'll give the Lakers a fighting chance if they win, but it puts them in a real tough position if they lose. So you got to expect a different atmosphere at Crypto.com Arena as well.
Yeah, it's a little early for the playoffs, but it needs to be that type of situation tomorrow. 2 things for this game. If the Lakers lose, neither thing is good. They're going on the road